Sorry about that, Karen.
It's okay.
The time is 7 o'clock. We do have a quorum with Mr. Torres being absent. Ms. Lyons, will you please lead us in prayer?
Please bow with me. Heavenly Father, thank you for the blessing of our children and the joy they bring us each day. Provide us with the guidance and patience to do our best work, to give our children the tools and skills necessary to serve and grow and succeed. Amen.
Amen.
Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I would like to remind everybody in the audience that this is being videoed, and you will be able to go on the website. It is also our board workshop that we had Tuesday, and today's board meeting. Dr. Randall, will you begin?
Tonight we have a student report from Briscoe Junior High. Our students participate in what's called a Genius Hour, where they create all sorts of neat things. I believe the students even have an assignment for the board this evening. So please help me welcome our students from Briscoe.
I think they're practicing.
They're on.
Thank you, Madam President, board members, and Dr. Randall for having us and letting us share with you our Genius Hour and what it's all about. Now I'm going to turn it over to my students.
Salutations and good evening. My name is Iris Ang. I'm Fabiana Saw.
Hello, my name is Oliver Coro.
My name is Morgan Grieve.
And my name is Amina Lawal.
And this is Genius Hour. So what if your teacher challenged you to invent something from a box of bits? Well, ours did, and now it's your turn. On your desk is a box of bits, and you have 1 minute to work in pairs and create something. Ready? Go.
It's on video. Right? Yeah.
I have a partner. Come join me. Oh my gosh. Where do we start?
Anything really. Just do whatever you want.
Okay.
Plug into each other, right?
How long we have?
You have 1 minute.
Are you sure? Okay, what do I want to do?
Just do whatever you want.
Help me out.
Anything you want.
Where does it
Yes.
How about the soundtrack? How about Frank? Okay, is it going to tell me what to do? Come back over here, Shirley.
You got anything?
Come on, come back here. Help me, help me.
Just plugged in. Calls DC motor.
Okay, let's see.
We're in trouble.
What's the first step?
I got to just create now. Look.
Maybe this is.
Looking through his glasses.
Yeah.
I like this.
Okay, we're going to make this.
The kind of assignment. So yeah, that's where he part of it. Like,
See the picture of all
Is there another piece? Ah, surprise. Here we go, here we go. Battery.
And then we need a piece. Yes.
Does it look that way? No, it looks different. We got to look at what it looks like.
7 seconds all time.
We're missing some parts.
Board board time.
Plug it in to where?
This is board accommodation.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I didn't think that.
Look here. Okay, let's see.
Oh, they have to create.
That was further. No? This lady, I need to. We're not working too good. Are we doing this right? Nope. Turn it around. Okay. Let y'all know what you're doing. There we go. Okay. You're not gonna do it for us.
And so are these, they're magnet different ones.
They're supposed to be magnet. Oh, okay. You didn't say that. Okay.
That's it.
So we're using screwdriver, a battery, and cable right here. The screwdriver. Okay, I don't know what that is. This is the buzzer. We haven't got it going yet. Oh, there it is.
Creativity.
This is supposed to be.
Here it is.
Oh, okay. The screwdriver has to go somewhere.
Where's that motor?
Oh, it's a Phillips. Oh.
We did.
We're missing something. Where's the cable?
We're doing great.
We got the plug. We didn't put the cable. All right, all right.
We need a pink.
So,
These things, what holds them together?
where do you think the cable's gonna go?
Well, they're, or I think it's this table actually. Because I think that is right here.
Okay, we'll put that one on here.
This, do this.
And this goes,
Where we're doing this, this is the next one.
there's the battery. All right, we got this.
That's
I knew
that.
that was a good one. Oh, look, 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 look! It worked! Okay, but the motor, let's see why the motor doesn't, no, it says it,
Okay,
Board accommodation.
that was a pulse in the buzzer.
but it's magnetic.
Yeah, if you do it right, then you hook up like that.
Okay. We got it.
My motor works.
It just lights up.
Let's give them a round of applause.
Y'all did good. Y'all did good.
Now, what is Genius Hour? Genius Hour is a school-based project that pushes students to learn and experience the making of a product with the intention of creating an innovative idea.
So our first Genius Hour product is the Food Maker. The Food Maker is a solar-powered device that produces food.
Next up, we have the visual novel, an interactive fiction game that typically involves anime.
Third, we have the dual nail polish, a nail polish bottle that consists of nail polish and a base coat that is compacted into one container.
Up next is the Decomposer Spray, a spray that easily allows anything to break down at the disposal of your fingertips.
Up next, we have the multitask robot, the voice-activated horn, and the video game.
My idea is the echolocation device. With this device, I want to provide the visually impaired with an innovative approach, utilizing technology to help see in a different perspective, a bat's view.
We have a Genius Hour OneNote page. It gives us the opportunity to communicate and share our ideas with our peers and our teachers.
Want to see more? Visit our class blog where you can find our posts and updates on our projects and new discoveries. Come join us. On Monday, January 11th, we will have our second annual BJH Family Science Night. Science Night is a night where students and parents can come out and join in cool science demos, make and take activities, and more information about the Science Star. Our projects will be on display there for all y'all to see.
Does anybody have any questions? Anybody else? Thank you
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Great job. Thank you.
Looks like so much fun.
I'm not telling anybody.
Try to put it back in the box. Challenge too.
Ours is on.
Everything has to go back. Let's put it right Well, we'll be here all night trying to put the box together.
Anybody want to see this one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Says winner.
Show off.
and we do not have any recognitions or awards, Madam Chairman, nor do we have any introductions.
We have audience to patrons.
Yes, Madam Chairman. We are now at the portion of the meeting when the board allots time to hear persons who desire to make comments to the board. Persons who wish to speak to the board must sign up to do so as they arrive, and they must indicate the topic about which they wish to speak. No presentation shall exceed 5 minutes. Delegations of more than 5 persons shall appoint one person to present their views. The board will hear the concerns, but the board cannot deliberate, discuss, or make a decision on any subject that is not posted on the agenda. Persons who speak to the board cannot complain about a district officer or employee in open session. Such concerns are heard in closed session after proper posting of the agenda item has occurred. As you come forward, please state your name and your address. Our first speaker is Joe Greenwell.
Hey, I've got audio visuals for I've got visuals this evening. What those kids play? We need to have a whole lot more.
Thank you.
My name is Joe Greenwell. I live at 6911 Renfro Drive, Richmond, Texas 77469. I'm here tonight to talk to you a little bit about Head Start and pre-K. Head Start was a program started in 1965 by Lyndon Johnson as part of his totally unsuccessful war on poverty. We have spent billions, hundreds of billions of dollars on Project Head Start. And it has been revised a couple of times. In 2010, the United States Congress decided that Health and Human Services, which administers Head Start, should do an in-depth evaluation to determine the effectiveness of the program. To put it in money terms, return on investment. Now, I'm fully aware that the state requires you to have pre-K, and they have a very tight restriction for it. And you can't get around that. Socioeconomically challenged children, children who do not speak English, children of servicemen that are deployed, and you have to fulfill that requirement that's put upon you by the state. I have heard it many times in this boardroom that if we just had the kids a little bit longer, we could do more with them. Hey, that sounds like a great idea. Makes sense. If you're a football coach and you can have the kids another 20 minutes, you might have a little better team. Well, now we're getting talk about having district-wide pre-K. The initial evaluation that was done, that was commissioned by Congress in 2010, was to stretch from pre-K through grades 5. The evaluation so far has been done up to grade 3. I don't expect to see grades 4 and 5 done. If you would, and the entire study is 400 plus pages, but I just brought you the executive summary. If I can take you to page 5, that's the one with the little V on it, if you're not fluent in Roman numerals. The second paragraph. In summary, there were initial positive impacts from having access to Head Start. But by the end of 3rd grade, there were few impacts found for either cohort in any of the 4 domains of cognitive, social, emotional health, and parenting practices. In other words, when the kids went from pre-K into kindergarten, They were above their peers. The two cohorts were the kids in Head Start and the kids without. By the time those kindergartners proceeded to first grade, the variance diminished. Second grade, it diminished more. By third grade, there was no statistical difference. That money didn't do what they thought it was going to do. Now, for your state mandated program, you don't have an option. But when people start to talk about putting pre-K across the district, which is going to have no positive impact, believe me, if they could have found a positive impact for Project Head Start after spending hundreds of millions of dollars to do the study, you're not smarter than them, and neither is anybody seated in the first row behind me. You're not going to come up with a program that's going to be successful. And I challenged all of you early on to not accept things as you're told that they are, but demand empirical evidence. Here is the empirical evidence that Head Start doesn't work. Pre-K, universal across this district, will be a waste of taxpayers' money. All you're going to do is essentially provide free daycare. Please, don't implement universal pre-K.
Our next speaker is Diana Lankford.
Hi, my name is Diana Langford. I live at 1211 Black Hawk Ridge Court. I work at transportation. I'm a bus driver. First and foremost, I want to say that I'm also a mother. And first of all, one of our biggest problems at transportation is that there's too many Indians and not enough chiefs. We at transportation are very frustrated that we have no idea who our boss is. It's very frustrating to go to work. I'm sorry that I get a little emotional, because it's very frustrating to see an empty office. And for the past 2 years, we've had bosses come and go. We don't ever really see anybody in there until all hell breaks loose. That's very frustrating as a bus driver. First of all, and there's a lot of bus drivers that feel the same way I do. I was hoping more of them would come, but of course they didn't. And between the coffee breaks, the cigarette breaks, the eating donuts, who's running transportation? When we want to talk about who do we go to talk about, everybody says, that's not my job. Well, whose job is it? Who's running transportation? If that's the case, we'll just all run transportation. We all get on our bus, we do the best we can. But at the end of the day, when everything gets frustrated and there's 70-something kids on a bus, that's a lot of kids on one bus. When we're calling dispatch and there's 3 dispatchers and we still can't get no answer, that's even more frustrating. When the teachers, the first week of school, ride with us, they tell us, how do y'all do this? Some of us have been there 10 plus years. We obviously have to love it. We obviously have to love our kids. Those kids on my bus are my babies. If I would have known that I was coming today, I would have had letters from every single one of my parents, and they would have gladly wrote them. Secondly, I'm very sorry for what happened to Mr. Brown, but at the same time, I do not agree with pocket knives being carried on the bus. This Tuesday or Wednesday, when it came out in the paper, was the first time I had ever heard about it. I've asked since the beginning of the school year, where's our handbook? I have yet to see a handbook. So that is also very frustrating. So my question is, where do we draw the line? Next to pocket knives in our pockets, or are we going to be able to cuss at the students? Are we going to be able to yank them? No. I would never do that to anybody's child, because I would not want somebody to do that to my child. Transportation. Something needs to be done. It's very frustrating, and I'm pretty sure somebody's still collecting a check for transportation, because that's just how the world is. Transportation is a problem for everybody, not just us. We're drivers, we go every day. Drivers that want to go to work, they go every day. The new drivers that see that $17 an hour, ooh, they're ready. Hiring drivers that are 19 and 20 and 21, that is not good. I have a 19-year-old. There is no way I would tell her to go drive a bus. They are not mentally or physically prepared to handle that kind of responsibility. I know that. It was hard for me when I started driving. So for somebody to do it at 19 and 20 because we're hard up for drivers, treat your drivers right. Let them know that somebody's going to be in back of their back to support them. Not, hey, who do I go to? Who do I explain my problem to? That's a big problem with keeping drivers at transportation. We lost so many good drivers because we don't know what's going on. If I honestly did not love my kids like I do and love my job, I probably wouldn't. It's not, who wants to live off of $600 every 2 weeks? I don't think a lot of people could live off of that. But we do it because we generally care for the kids. So principals, everybody has to take a stand. Principals need to take responsibility with discipline. Parents need to also remember that it's a privilege to drive the bus. And every bus driver that's driving, whether it be a male or female, that male is somebody's dad, grandpa, or husband. So they want to come home at the end of the day. I'm somebody's mom and wife. I want to come home at the end of the day.
Thank you, Ms. Langford. Appreciate it.
Our next speaker is Herman Brown.
Good evening, board members. My name is Herman Brown. I live at 712 Maple Street. I'm here on the same behalf of the lady that just got through speaking. A part about the knife, I have to address that. If it hadn't been for that knife, I would probably could have been dead or injured very seriously. I did not pull the knife to present body harm to anyone. I pulled the knife to get them up off of me. I'm on the floor. I'm getting kicked in the face, getting hit in the face with fists and stuff like that. I could have gotten killed. My wife is right there. She's concerned about my health and welfare. I'm concerned about the kids' health and welfare too as well. But the thing about the whole thing is that when you have children on the bus, you write them up 2 or 3 times and it comes back as a warning. Well, I done warned them ever since school been going on the bus. But nobody seems to understand that. So when you write them up 2 or 3 times, it's some action should have been taken. You got a big old sign up that says disruption of transportation, $500 fine. Since I've been here, I ain't heard nobody ever getting $500 fine. I mean, you know, this is stuff that I'm talking about. I'm the one that got hurt. I'm the one that jumped on. I ain't jumped on nobody. Everybody jumped on me. 3 people jumped on me. 3. One kicked me in the face on this side, and the other one hit me in the face, hit me with his fist on this side. Only way I can get up out of that is when I pull my knife out of my pocket and present it to them. They got up off me. Then I was able to get to my radio and call for dispatch. This is what I'm talking about. That my family cares about me just that, and my grandchildren, they cares about me just as much as anybody else's family would care about their children. I don't want to hurt no children. I don't want nobody to hurt mine. But the thing about it is, I'm not going to have my child on no bus acting crazy, for number one. Because, see, I know how to chastise my children, or my grandchildren even. But the thing about the whole thing is that when you got some children on the bus that is rowdy, which has been going on for years up there in Kingston, it doesn't make any sense for that to be happening every time you turn around. It doesn't make any sense. I found out just the other day that they had another guy on the same route. They broke his arm. What about his family? Why did he have to go through that trauma? I got problems right now. My head hurts me all the time. I get dizzy sometimes, and my eye got cut right here on the inside right there. My nose was fractured. I went to the emergency room the same day. Nobody concerned about that but my wife and my grandchildren, because that's what I'm going to bring to you all right now. As far as disciplinary concern, I feel that transportation should be able to have a big part of that too. Not only just the principal, because the kids ride the bus to and from school. I have seen many times, my kids, I pull up to junior high or high school, the kids get on the bus, they will not sit down. I tell them every day, sit down, sit down, sit down. What the principals and teachers doing out there on the deck? They stand up there talking to each other. They're not concerned about what's going on the bus. Now, if you're going to be a disciplinary person for the bus, then you need to do something about it when somebody come up there and sit up there and wait until these kids sit down so I can drive the bus off, take off. But what they do, they stand up there just looking at you, and then they start talking. I mean, what kind of backbone is that for? We're supposed to be a family. School district, bus for transportation, everything. Administration, y'all, we all supposed to be a family. And if a family don't work together, it's gonna fall apart. I don't want to die. My children and my wife and my children don't want to die. Their children and their family, they don't want their kids to die. They don't want to die either, as far as they're concerned, if they were driving the bus and that happened to them. Yes, I did pull it out, but it's only to get them up off of me. I never one time launched at them with this knife. All I want to do is get them off. When they got up off me, I went straight to the radio and called for backup from dispatch. And they told me the police is on the way. Well, I'm about 2 or 3 miles from Beasley. Well, it's going to take a while for the cops to get there. So I stood up there, and matter of fact, I even folded my knife up and put it back in my pocket. I didn't even have it out no more. It's nothing against the kids to me to try to hurt somebody, but it's just that, hey, I love me. And I'm pretty sure y'all love y'all. Because if you was on that bus, what would you do? Would you just let them beat you when you had a chance to get something to help to get them off you? I don't think so. So that's my gripe right there behind everything. But right now I'm gonna leave, but I got to go home because I'm not feeling very well. My head is hurting me and stuff like that, and I got to go. But I just want to bring that to y'all. And I want to tell you this here, you do have a lot of wonderful people right here at the campus right here, on the transportation right here. Those are some wonderful guys. I'm new here, but those are some wonderful guys, and they stick together. And I can't recommend them highly enough for the way they treated me as a newcomer, and the way they treat each other. It tells me a whole lot about the personality of
Mr.
transportation
Brown.
out there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Diana Reyna Martinez.
Hello, my name is Diana Reyna Martinez. I live at 406 3rd Street, Rosenberg. I'm also a bus driver for Lamar Transportation. I started working with transportation in 1989. Took a little time off and then I came back. So I've been with them about 23 years. And I love my job. I have 6 sons. 5 have already gone through school. I never sent them to school. My husband did. I have one at Foster. I have not sent him to school one day. My husband has. I love my job. I treat my students very special. I reward them the elementary, the stickers on Friday. I've been doing that forever. It costs me, I don't have somebody to buy them. My concern here is of the incident that took place. There was a meeting yesterday. I was on a field trip. I was not part of it. My concern is the students that were part of this incident. They were my students 3 years ago. They were my students last year. And one of the students, he was out of control that his mother removed him but brought him back. He said, I grew up. They brought me back here. He was on my bus up to yesterday. And I've had a lot of issues with him and the other students. Like they say, I write them up, we'll take care of it. We're going down 59 from Kendallton to Rosenberg, 20-25 minutes. The buses only go 50 miles an hour. These children tend to get up, jump over seats, start arguments. There's something, all I say, sit down, disrupting transportation. We call them in, this is what they tell us. Well, if you're closer to the school, just bring them in. I said, please have an AP out there for us. We're out there 5 and 10 minutes. There's nobody at Lamar, nobody at junior high or high school. Oh, just drop them off, don't worry about it, just write them up. We never get a response, what became of it. And they're on the next day, and the next day. Last year, I was removed from the Kendallton Beasley run. They didn't give me a reason. They just removed me, sent me to Velasquez and George Ranch. I've been asking for my run to take it back. They still won't give me a reason why they won't give it back. I love those children. I have them in the morning. I don't have them in the evening. And they won't give me a reason why they removed me. My concern is there are good kids out there, very good kids, very well-mannered kids. But those that get out of hand, every day is the same thing. The profanity, the radio, the getting up, slapping on kids. And we're driving. We can't pull over every minute. It's not safe. And we just ask, where's our help? Well, we'll see. We'll look into it. That is the oldest line. We will look into it. And I'm here on behalf of Mr. Brown. I heard the whole commotion. I know who did who was the ones involved in that. And I was thinking it could have been me. It could have been me because in the morning he takes them to Bowie, to Beasley, and they come onto my bus. And I bring them into Lamar. But I don't see them in the afternoon. And I thought it could have been me. What would I have done then? Another concern is that, students being in ALC, I remember back in 1975, when I was in high school, that when a girl came out pregnant, mother had to do the transportation. I've always brought a concern, why is it we have to transport ALC? Some are good kids and some are really out of hand. So that was another concern right there. And my other concern is, if we don't ask what becomes of the write-up, we don't find anything out. We got to keep going. Well, ask him, ask her. We don't know. We don't have direct answers. They said, well, write your comments down. We do. What do we talk to? Oh, well, they're out. Come back later. Oh, well, you come in too late after 5. Everybody's already gone. We don't get answers. We have a real good speech when we have in-service and they pump us up. But we know when school starts, there is no help. And I love my job. I plan to stay here a couple of more years. And my concern is that when we're out at a distance and we need help, we don't have help. We can't call the police on our own because that's against the policy, but they won't give us backup. They won't send somebody to help us, to remove that child and have somebody else pick them up. We have to deal with that child all the way to and from. And like I said, these students, I brought them up many times, and nothing was done. That's my concern. That we need help as bus drivers, because I love my job and I take it serious. I know parents one-on-one. That's how long I've been out there, 4 years. And there's just a handful that we need help with, and there's nobody there to help us. That's my concern.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Martinez.
Madam Board President, the board's practice, as stated on the request card, is to require audience members who wish to address the board to submit their request before the call to order. I wanted to make the board aware that I received an additional request after the call to order. How would you like me to?
We'll go ahead and hear it.
Our next speaker is Peter Shears.
Good evening, Board. Thank you for sneaking me in. My name is Peter Schreers. I live on 7214 Emerald Glen Drive here in Sugarland. And I guess I have to request a closed session because basically my topic involves inappropriate touching in school, verbal harassment. It's a journey of 6 months already that we can't fit in 5 minutes, and it does entail specific individuals and groups of the individuals which, my understanding, we cannot address in public forum. So I would like to request a private session or a closed session from you.
I'll confer with our attorney.
So, Madam Board President, that's correct. If the speaker will be identifying students by name, as I appreciate he will, given what he stated, then that would need to take place in closed session.
And we would do that now.
You could adjourn to closed session now. Now, if it's essentially in the form of a grievance, just so that the speaker knows, you can hear it tonight, of course, during audience participation, but the board is legally restricted from taking any action. And so if the speaker is seeking some action, you'd have to conform with the district's grievance process.
The grievance process is about to be filed. This is a process of 6 months already, so it's a very layered story that hasn't come to resolution. And I prefer to have it in closed session, to be honest with you. It's
For discussion purposes, understanding that your grievance has not been filed yet?
It's not filed yet. No, correct.
So if I may ask the speaker, since you will be filing a grievance and seeking some relief, and given that the board can't grant any relief tonight, would it just be better to advance the grievance and then convene with the board at the appropriate time? Because at that point, you'll have more time to fully present your grievance, and they will have the ability to take action on the grievance tonight. They could adjourn into closed session, but you're still going to be subject to the time constraints that any other audience participant has.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do option A, if you will. So I'll file the grievance, and could you let me know how then to obtain that closed session?
The administration can share with you the grievance policy and the form for completion of a grievance.
I do have that, yes.
Oh, okay. And so you've probably seen in that form, there are levels, and then there is a level, if you're not satisfied with the administrative response, you can file an appeal, and then it will come before the board, and at that time, you'll have more time to make your presentation, and the board will have the ability to take formal action on your grievance request.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
That's all, Madam Chairman.
Okay, thank you very much. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for September the 15th at our special workshop. May I have a motion?
Madam Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the minutes for September 15th workshop.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Approval of minutes for September 17th at our regular board meeting.
I'll make a motion, Madam Chairman, to approve the minutes for September 17th of our regular board meeting.
I'll second those.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion has carried. September the 29th, special board meeting, approval of minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for the special board meeting on September 29th.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item are board member reports. Do we have any?
Madam Chairman, we had a finance committee meeting earlier today, and where we reviewed the financial status for FY 2014, 2015. We also looked at projections for 2015-2016. In addition, we discussed the education regulations for federal and state grants to include the EDGAR report, which EDGAR policies and procedures, which includes, EDGAR stands for the Educational Department General Administration Regulations. And it's my understanding that the staff are working on a policy and procedures manual.
Very good. Anyone else?
Just one thing. When I attended CISD a few weeks ago, there was a common theme throughout the workshops that I attended, and it was invite the community to be a part of as many decisions as can be made. I'd like to see us try to use that as often as we can and at any time.
Okay. Tuesday evening, we did have a facilities committee meeting, and as we know, we do have up for approval tonight for our construction company for elementary school number 24, and we are also going to be approving our utility easement for elementary school number 24. We also talked about that we're going to be proactive with this 2015 and really 2014 bond, and go ahead and tonight is up for approval for PBK to start being the architect for elementary school number 25. And then we're also at this time going out for RFQs, which are requests for qualifications for architectural services for our support service facility, our 3 practice pools, and our band instrument storage at Terry High School and Lamar Consolidated High School. And hopefully they'll be able to bring those information back to us, hopefully between November and December, so that we can approve those architects and get those projects moving.
Thank you.
I have a
Jane?
report from the Technology Committee. A lot of fun things going on there. I'll skip some of the technical things so I can work some of these in. One is a Special Olympics registration. Apparently we've had people participating in registering folks for Special Olympics, and that is all done by hand. So now Information Services is working with the district coordinator for the Special Olympics to create an online volunteer registration system, and that should go live in January, and that's for an April Special Olympics event. There was another activity going on that I didn't know what it was. It said Minecraft, and I said, oh, what kind of what is that? And it is a game, but it is a special reasoning game, and they build 3D models inside this system. And what this does, it allows these kids to be very, very creative. This is a free program that's provided by Microsoft. There are no goals in this. You don't battle anybody. This is simply this is simply allowed the kids to get in there and create an environment, and there's some that have already been created, models, as I said, of cities. And it's really one of those things, we talked about STEM and these things that stimulate the kids to be creative. This is one of them. So really exciting to hear that. And we have 12 teachers currently testing that out. I thought that was really cool. One of the other things going on, the Instructional Technology Help Desk. On September 21st, Technology Integration launched the Instructional Technology Help Desk. This service provides real-time support to teachers with questions on issues during technology-rich sessions. So this is something they can get help within a few minutes to support the classwork. In less than a month, this new service has already helped over 50 teachers with issues ranging from how to plug into the document camera, all these little nitty things that keep you from teaching the class. Another interesting, really neat program is Internet at Home Pilot. We've heard in the last couple of months about the GROW project, where we took these pre-K kids and they got to have a computer and tap into the internet, and it helped hone their reading and math skills. Well, their partner, Technology Development, is partnering with secondary education to pilot this with middle schools, Navarro Middle School and Wessendorf. The goal of the program is to provide students academic and technical resources to practice reading and math skills at home. And I've seen my kids do this kind of stuff, and it's a really neat program because it's sort of self-starting and then sort of self-feeds when they get into it, just like it did with the Project Grow. So the parent meetings will be held as soon as the program begins in early November, so another exciting program. We've talked about this other as Projector Refresh. It's part of a long-term program replacing 780 projectors at 18 campuses. This is part of the 2014 bond program. The board will be approving tonight Troxel Communications to provide all these projectors and the install. And the lowest acceptable bid was $699,700, and we had $56,000 in savings over the projected budget on that. Yes, sir. Good, outstanding. One other really interesting thing that's going on is called Discovery Education Online System. All LCISD students and instructional staff have online access at home and at school to use this instructional multimedia resource via the Discovery Education streaming channel. And a total of 4,273 online multimedia resources were streamed to LCISD classrooms during the month of September. So this is a resource that's really being used. And this includes videos, video segments, articles, images, audio clips. So it's another tool that's really helping in the classrooms. So really great work, exciting stuff to hear about.
He makes it sound very exciting, too, doesn't
It
he?
is. Fun to report this stuff.
Are there any other reports? All right. The next will be the superintendent reports.
The only thing that I would like to do is to thank the board members that attended the State of the District luncheon today over in Fort Bend. It was really, really exciting to see as many board members in attendance today, so thank you.
Thank you. We will proceed to a consent agenda. I understand at the last meeting, it was reminded to everyone that these topics were discussed at our workshop on Tuesday, and any community member that would like to attend on Tuesday, it can be very informative. First will be Section 10A, or A1, I'm sorry, B1, B2, B3, B4. Donations, that will be set aside?
You can approve it, but then you can read the...
Okay, B5, B6, B7, B8, B9, B10, B11, B12, B13, C1, D1. If there are no discussions, may I have a
I'll make a motion, Madam Chairman, that we approve the consent agenda.
Second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Majority.
Now, the donation.
And there was an addendum.
There's an addendum.
Yes, ma'am.
But Hubinek's not on here. Is it? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Better glasses. The Frost PTO donated $9,789.69 to purchase instructional resources and staff development to Frost Elementary School. The Hubenak PTA donated $31,410 to purchase a sunshade for the outdoor classroom and field trips at Hubenak Elementary School. And the Fidelity Charitable Gift Fund donated $3,500 to Terry High School. And we appreciate and thank everyone for their donations. We just
Any comments on any of the information items?
The next item on the agenda are information items. Under A, goal planning, the tax collection report. Are there any questions? A2, payments for construction projects. 3, Region 4 maintenance and operations update. 4, the bond update. No discussion? 5, naming the new schools.
I would like a discussion on that, please. Madam Chairman, as I understand it, a few years ago, way before any of us were on the board, the policy on how we name the schools was changed, and it now calls for a person to be deceased. I would like for the board to consider changing that from shall be deceased. I would like for us to be able to have the option to name a school after someone who is not deceased. Over the years, there have been several community members, teachers, coaches who have approached the board in regards to naming some facilities after someone who has spent their entire career dedicating it to Lamar. We have several facilities that are not named, understandably so, because probably the person who would rightfully have the name on that building is still alive. I would like for us to consider modifying that.
Is this something that we would have to put on the next agenda?
Well, you can have discussion about it, given that it's on your agenda, but you can't take action on it until you place it on an agenda as an action item for a subsequent meeting.
I've heard before, as far as the reasoning for having deceased is because their reputations are pretty well secure. And I disagree. I would prefer that I was living and could hear the honor and see the name. And just as we've seen in the last few months, if you've done something bad or disgraceful, your statue will be gone. And I don't see any reason why our district couldn't follow those same directions. And if it's necessary, I think we should put it on the agenda for next month to discuss this.
My concern is that we're still delaying the process at least one more month of the school district going forth. And as I was listening the other day, and correct me if I'm wrong, it is a process that takes, I don't know, how long do you give the people putting in to get the names? I'm wondering if this is something we could look at and discuss more for a future bond and not for this one.
Typically, there's about a month for nominations, and then the board reviews those names, as I mentioned, with the binder of all the different names involved. Then there would be a public hearing, and then an additional month for the board to look at that and make a decision. Honestly,
About 90 days.
if the board wanted to look at it, though, we're already at the point to where we're going to begin zoning for elementary 24 without a name. So whether it's, next month or the month after, there is time for the board to discuss it.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chairman, I would like to put that item on the agenda for next month's meeting, please.
We'll do that at the end of the
Oh,
meeting.
thank you. Yes, I forgot.
We'll put that
Got
down.
ahead of myself.
Information item number 6, our 2015-2016 Attendance Boundary Committee. Do you have any discussion? And I understand that it will be necessary to have a closed session
Yes,
today?
ma'am.
Okay. This meeting will adjourn. It is 7:56. Two closed session.
It is 7:51.
And I have to read,
You-
I
you
left
did-
that
you
part
did,
out, sorry.
please.
Adjournment to closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071, 551.072, 551.074, and 551.082, the Open Meetings Act, for the purposes in closed session. We are reconvening into open session. It is 8:44. Do I have any motions?
Madam Chairman, I move that the Board of Trustees approve the recommendation of Janice Harvey as the principal of Huggins Elementary School.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Madam Chairman, the Board of Trustees, I move that we approve the recommendation of Michael Jones as Director of Transportation.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Madam Chairman, I move that the Board of Trustees approve the purchase of approximately 12.6 acres of real estate property in the Tamaron Lake subdivision for a future elementary site and authorize the superintendent to negotiate and execute a sale and purchase agreement and closing documents.
Do I have a second? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Do we have any information items to be put on the agenda for next meeting?
Madam Chairman, I would like to have the naming of the schools back on the agenda for next month, please.
As
Second
an
that.
action or an information? Sorry.
An action item, please.
Action item. Are there any other requests?
You need to get 3. You gotta get 3
Oh.
consents.
I seconded.
Second, okay, and I'm in favor of that. So we have 3.
Do we need to be more specific in that?
We
in
need
that
to be more
action item?
specific in that, I think.
In that we would like living persons to be on naming lists, or does it not have to be that
You,
specific?
you don't have to do that
Okay.
for this purpose.
And I would like to propose an information item, correct, for covering transportation with the report from Mr. Randall, or Dr. Randall.
Is it like an update?
Yes.
Is that what you're asking for?
Mhm.
I agree with that.
Do I have a third agreement?
Agreed.
Okay. Are there any other items? Meeting is adjourned.
8:46.